John Madden. Well, we're not here for John Madden today. We're here for Mario Sports.
Woo! Mario Sports!
And Necromascot has dressed for the occasion.
Aye.
And Gumpers, of course, is always here. He's the main
I don't know
man.
why I'm here.
He showed up last minute.
Yeah.
Uninvited. He crashed the party.
Yeah.
He started coming in saying, Evan, how are you? And I'm like, what are you doing in here? What are you doing in my house? Do I have to call the cops? But then he was like, I want to be in a YouTube video for you. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Call the cops afterwards.
Yeah.
True.
Give you a little common courtesy.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Alright, so we're ranking. So with the light of the brand new Strikers coming out, which
It's really
we'll,
good.
we'll talk about in a different video. We decided we're gonna rank our Mario Sports games.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start with Evan.
All right.
We'll go with me, and then Gump will be last.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised at Gump's list.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a real
It's gonna be
shake-up.
real shake up.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it earlier, Mans was definitely onto something.
Oh, I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just clarification. I've never played any of these games at all.
What the fuck?
You
man?
ruined it!
You ruined
The immersion!
Hold on.
The immersion!
You pick one, and before you guys say anything, I'm just gonna guess.
Okay, all right,
fun.
I'm with
Yes.
that.
I like
with
that. Fun,
yeah.
fun,
I'm
fun.
with that. Now, keep in mind,
I'm gonna look at the picture
So-
and guess.
so my and Evan's opinions on sports games are entirely different. Because Evan likes certain ones where I hate certain ones, and then with the ones that I like, he does not
I
like.
don't like sports games anymore at all.
You're a liar because you literally still buy them. So
I haven't bought one since 2020.
that will change as soon as fucking Madden drops. I guarantee you.
Alright, so we're going to get into this. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour on the GameCube.
Where are you putting that, Evan? I'm curious.
Oh, did you want to guess first?
Yeah. That is a solid.
That's a GameCube game.
That is a solid B tier.
S tier.
Okay, why?
I think Toadstool Tour is tied with being the golden standard for the golf. And I'll get to the next one, the next golf game later, but Toadstool Tour, I think, did everything right. It was a perfect clash of traditional golf, but with a Mario sort of spin to it. It really improved everything that Golf 64 did. Some of the later, like, not tracks, but like golf courses were a bit much on terms of the gimmickiness. Like, I remember Bowser's one is very, very difficult.
Princess Peach's castle
Oh,
is like
that-
the one that's very gimmicky as well. Like if one mess up and you just ruin your entire tournament standing.
Absolutely. And it had like a couple of cool characters, because I know that like Shadow Mario from Sunshine was playable, and he's just Bowser Jr. in disguise, but he's still there.
Yeah, which is dope. If you
Yeah.
think about it.
Well, everything about this is great. The controls are refined. I like the accuracy aiming system. You can tell a lot of love for golf was put into Toadstool Tour in specific, and I love that.
I agree. Okay, what's your next one? What do we got? Mario
Tennis 64.
All right, where were you thinking?
A.
What were you thinking? You thinking A?
Yeah.
I'm thinking B. I'm thinking B.
I would personally inch it closer to A.
Okay, and why A and not S?
Well, first of all, Waluigi was introduced here, so that's an instant at least B tier. This was Waluigi's introduction game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And so he's about like 22 by now, like this is his 22nd anniversary. Tennis
This
is,
came out in 2000?
Yeah.
That came out in 2000.
yes, Mario Tennis.
Okay.
Everything about the game is solid. A bunch of modes, like the sort of ring one, like where you shoot through the rings. The different courts are really fun, but they don't go overboard with them. It's just, it was very refined, and I was always interested in the whole Game Boy Color and later Game Boy Advance connectivity, because I don't know if you remember this, but depending on if you had like the Game Boy or the GBA equivalent, and if you played it, you could actually transfer characters from the handheld version to the console version, and they're just like regular people.
I remember that somewhat, only because I'm pretty sure my older brother did that.
Yeah.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. And so I always thought that was a really cool touch. And I just think that this was interesting because I think this is one of the last appearances of Donkey Kong Jr.
I think it is. Well, no, because it was Baby DK. They don't.
No,
consider
it was
Donkey-
It was specifically Donkey Kong Jr.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I'll show you after this. It
Okay.
was DK Jr.
Okay. I take your word for it because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I will take your word for it.
Want to know something cool? In the data for Mario Kart Double Dash, specifically a demo for the game found on a demo disc, an early character roster can be seen, with DK Jr. in place of Diddy Kong. It's unknown why Jr. was removed in favor of Diddy, but it's interesting to see he was even considered. Yeah.
All right, next. What is that? Mario Golf what?
World Tour on 3DS.
When did this come out?
2014.
On the 3DS?
3DS.
D.
Okay.
You know, Alex, You might be completely wrong.
Really?
I will say this right now. Mario Golf World Tour on 3DS was the last, what I think is the last truly great finished Mario Golf game. Not only was the main game solid because it just continued to build what Toadstool Tour did, but it had a fun little sort of compromise between a kind of a story mode, but just a little campaign, but it didn't feel like overwhelming or anything. It was really fun, and it was one of the best implementations of DLC in, I think, any Nintendo game.
That makes me curious then, with your reasoning. It makes me curious about a certain game that's on this list, and I want to see where you're going to put it. Because if you don't put it where I think you're going to put it, I'll be very disappointed, and I'll explain why I'm putting it where I'm putting it.
Right. And, like, the DLC was really cool because it was, like, fairly priced, and it came with, like, a new character, a new course, some, like, clothing options and stuff, new, like, missions for the mission mode. It was solid all around, and it's just, it makes me kind of wonder what happened to Camelot after this game, because, God, it just did not get good after that.
Luke, did you play that one?
I think you said that came out in 2014.
Yeah.
So the problem is when I had the 3DS, I strictly had it for Smash at the time. I didn't really explore my other options for games until like the 3DS support for Smash died. So, and then eventually my 3DS stopped working altogether.
It sucks.
So a lot of the stuff that I had on there at this point is lost. So I actually never did get to play that. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't even know that game existed until now. I'll be honest with you. But if what he's saying is true, and I knew that, I probably went and bought it. I probably would have never bought it.
There was a lot of games in the 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I didn't even know it existed. That's how wild it is that I didn't know about that.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got next?
Mario Superstar Baseball.
That's an S tier, bro. That's an S tier. You can't even say a name.
Honestly, you're right. I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to answer.
Is that the one that you played on your channel?
That is the one I played.
Super Sluggers?
That's the GameCube.
Yeah, Superstar Baseball is the GameCube one. Yeah.
I mean, both of them are good, but we'll talk about it.
You played the Wii one.
Yeah, I played the Wii one.
I think the reason I like Superstar Baseball more than, well, I guess I'm slightly spoiling it, but Super Sluggers would be either B or A tier for me. But I think Superstar Baseball is a bit more, I don't want to say refined per se, but I like how it's a little less nonsense-y, because a Super Sluggers added things like the little buddy jump and the items, and it's like, there isn't as much of that, if any, really of that in the original one. So it's more like, feels like it plays more like a straight baseball game with Mario.
The original Superstar Baseball has more skill.
Yeah.
So like wall climbing was like a thing than Superstar Baseball, and that's not very common.
Right.
In Super Sluggers, because you just have the buddy jump system.
Yeah.
While buddy jump system made things a lot easier, it also was like a, hey, I just had a great timing with my skill or whatever. Oh, well, let me just double tap A near the wall where you're gonna hit it or where it's going, and I'll just catch it. As long as my timing's right. And it's like, I think skill-wise, I think it fell off.
Absolutely.
It's still a fun game, and with motion controls, it's even better. But the problem still lies that, like, there is no skill, therefore, it's not fun.
Right.
Where at least Superstar Baseball, like, when it came to outfielding and stuff, you had skill, because you had to be able to wall climb. You had to make sure your outfield worked with your infield. Yeah. And I guess to an extent, you can say the same thing for Sluggers, but it was like, you could mix anybody with anybody and they would work together. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chemistry was big in Superstar Baseball.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know there isn't much diversity in where I'm placing these, but
I don't want to get beat up, so I'm just gonna say S tier.
I was gonna say you better just right.
I mean, you're right about this one being S tier, but like, never feel afraid to voice your opinions, man.
That is
the man that killed me for liking Sonic Spinball.
I'm a changed man.
No, wait, who killed you for liking Spinball? No, you didn't.
You want to go about back?
We'll talk about it right now. I told you Spinball is one of my all-time favorites, and you're gonna sit there and shit on it? What else you say?
Kill him.
Look at this flash drive.
Oh, that's a nice flash drive.
Go get it. Okay, but for serious, Strikers Charged, fantastic game. Literally, I think for the most part, again, improves everything that original Super Mario Strikers did, and original Strikers was already solid. I like a lot of how like they just turned up the personality of the characters to 11, because original Strikers was already pushing it, but then Charged was like, okay, we're probably never gonna get another chance like this again. Let's go crazy. Let's have Waluigi do the crotch chop. Let's keep, like, this was in the original one, but let's keep the.
Yeah.
Let's let Daisy keep doing that.
Yeah, so hot. Evan's so hot. Also, when we get done with each person's tier list, send them to me. Message them to me. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them to certain people and let's see what their opinions are on.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Striker's Charge.
We've been
very high energy.
We've been very kind so far.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to stay that way.
It's not going to stay that way. All right. Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color.
Personally, we're
I'm going to guess
I've never really played it.
I was going to say I played it, but I vaguely remember it, so I might as well have never played it.
So it's a D. I'm the only one that gave an answer. It's a D.
I mean,
it's never played, but it's
you're not wrong.
It's D.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so this is where we really get to go in there.
Cancel me, not them.
Mario Golf Super Rush. Where do you... Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not going to voice my opinion.
I know your opinion, so I'm going to go on a limb and say C at best.
Not even that. I
Really?
think it's definitely... I'm very, very against the path that Nintendo has taken for a lot of their spin-offs on the Switch of release it now, give out the content later. And I know it's more complex than just, they're hiding it behind, like, free updates and stuff. Like, I know it's not necessarily just that at play here.
But it's still an incomplete game.
It still feels like an incomplete game because, like, the game itself kind of feels barren, and I was not a fan of the story mode in this one because, like, the first area you go to, completely fine. And then the second area...
It teaches you, like, cross golf.
Yeah,
I never heard of that in my life.
It's one of the big gimmicks of this one, but the thing is, that area of cross golf is so difficult. It just does this massive difficulty spike. And, like, every other world after that is just like, why am I doing this after conquering what feels like endgame stuff?
Right.
The support was definitely nowhere near as good as Tennis Aces is, because, like, Tennis Aces had stuff for, like, almost a year. And then this just dropped off for, like, October.
6 months.
Yeah,
6 months.
not even 6 months. Not even, nah. Because it came out in June of last year, and then October was the last update, so that's 4 months. Really.
Right, something like that, yeah. All right, what do we got next?
Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color.
I'm gonna give it a C if you've played it. If you've never played it, because I've never played it. I'm gonna give it a C though.
I have not played it in a very long time, but it goes for me in a C.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like I said, I can't really, like, name much about it besides, like, the whole character compatibility. I don't doubt it's good. It's just I would need to replay it.
Right. To kind of understand, like, okay, was it really good?
Right.
Okay. What do we got next?
Yeah.
What Mario Tennis is that?
Mario Tennis Open on 3DS.
See,
this I didn't even know this existed. See, this is bullshit.
It's so weird that, like, I don't know. Like,
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say A tier. A D tier.
This is, I'd say, I'm a little bit cynical with this one because this is where you definitely could tell this was the start of
the downfall.
The decline of Camelot games. But what's funny to me is that I ranked, at least for me, I think that Mario Tennis Open is very, like, mediocre to not very good. But then again, this was 2012. 2 years later, for World Tour, I think that's, like, on par with Toadstool Tour as the best golf game. So it's like, I know that World Tour got delayed for, like, a year, and that's probably why it's as incredible as it is, but, like, I don't know what happened with Mario Tennis. I think it was 2012, so it was still kind of, they wanted some more stuff because they wanted to increase the 3DS sales, because, like, stuff like Mario 3D Land and Mario Kart 7 was selling it, but it's like they wanted more stuff put out there.
Right.
And I kind of feel like that's where they, like, rushed it, and, like, it's such a stark difference from Power Tennis, which is a bit of the ways down. I was just not a fan of it. I remember being disappointed with it when I was, like, 16.
Fair enough. All right, what do we got next?
Mario Golf Advance Tour on the Game Boy Advance.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say E.
I've never played it personally.
Okay.
Honestly, like, some of the Mario sports games, as much as I claim to love a lot of them, there are just some that it's like I barely touched.
Or didn't even know they existed.
Right. So, I, again, can't really say anything on Advanced Tour. So, Super Sluggers, I'm going to
say A tier. I would give it an A tier.
What about you, Alex?
I gotta give it.
I think you're gonna put it in A tier.
I know.
Yeah.
I've watched Luke play this.
So, even though I don't think this one is as technical or as sort of...
Well, we kind of touched base on it a little bit.
I will say, I think that to this day, Mario Super Sluggers has the best Mario character roster.
Oh, 100%.
Dude.
King K. Rool
Yeah.
and freaking Wiggler and a Blooper. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man. How often do you get to see Wiggler or King K. Rool as a playable character in any Mario game, let alone Donkey Kong game now?
Yeah, like, Super Sluggers had Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and Dixie Kong. They were in Superstar Baseball, but then it brought in Funky Kong, Tiny Kong, Baby DK from Yoshi's Island DS, 4 Kremlings or Critters, and then King K. Rool. Like, modern Mario, modern spin-off Nintendo would never.
No.
They would never. And it's also funny to think, I was just talking about this on Twitter with someone, but it's funny to think that K. Rool's last appearance in a video game for 10 years was Mario Super Sluggers, because he didn't come back in a video game until Smash Ultimate.
Which is crazy to me.
I know, right?
All right, what do we got next? Mario Tennis Aces. That's the Switch.
The Switch one.
I'm gonna give it a D. I would think you're gonna give it a D.
I'm very torn on between C and D, because you know what? I'll be a little generous. Because I don't think the core of Aces is bad. I don't like how they followed more of the Tennis Open mechanics as opposed to the Power Tennis mechanics, but I will admit that at least after launch, it was a good game. Not spectacular, but it was good. Of course, the problem is it didn't launch in the state that I would rate it as good or decent. It was definitely when Nintendo was sort of, I don't know if establishing, but it was a very weird feeling, because 2017 Nintendo with the Switch was superb. And then for most of 2018, like, their games kind of felt mid, because like Kirby Star Allies was like, this was kind of thing.
Right.
And it's just like, it's not a bad game, and it was like the first Mario sports game to have a story in like 10 years, so I commend it for that. But it just doesn't feel as good as Toadstool Tour, or not Toadstool Tour, as Power Tennis does later on. It's just, now, like, when you look at it now, it's not bad, but it's just not as good as the past ones.
Right. Mario Hoops, 3-on-3.
I didn't know there was one basketball.
Okay, so I played it. I have played this. A buddy of mine owned it, and I did play it. Evan, have you played it before?
I have, a lot of it.
Okay, I would give it a B.
I would give it a B as well.
Okay.
You want to know my favorite Mario sports character? The White Mage from Final Fantasy.
It's a thing.
This game was it publishing or development by Square
I think it was developed by Square Enix, so they have a couple of old school Final Fantasy characters in there. You can play as Cactar. You can play as Cactar.
S tier.
He said S tier. He really go buy a DS and find that game.
Instead of 1,000 needles, Cactar is just balling.
Cactar got the drip, bro.
1,000 ballins.
Yeah.
1,000 balls.
And it's like, it played really good too, especially for the DS. This was like, I think...
Yeah, it really did. And I was surprised by that.
I'm pretty sure that Mario Hoops is also the only Mario sports game on DS, which is weird to think about. Yeah.
I think it is, yeah, actually, because if we're looking at the rest of this list, none of those are DS games.
Yeah.
It's weird that DS was around for a long time.
It was.
Mario Sports Mix is kind of an interesting one that I never hear talk.
I would give it a C.
I feel like it's only like possible to be a C. It's only taking little bits and pieces of the other games.
When I played it when I was younger, I wasn't very big of the gameplay loop, because it's the one where it's like basketball, hockey, dodgeball.
Is volleyball a part of that?
Yeah, volleyball as well. So it's like, for sports, you think, oh wow, that's great, but they're not developed nearly on the level that like a singular sports game would be. So it's not like you're getting, it's kind of like closer to a Mario and Sonic in a way, like how kind of mini game-ish they feel.
That should be on this list.
That's a good point. I don't know if we should add those later on.
We should probably add those later on.
You got
it. We'll talk about them, and you'll just have to make a mental image.
Yeah. I'll probably do it like as an afterword for a video, like we'll find the Mario and Sonic's.
Put the image there as we talk about it or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so Mario Power Tennis, I think this is going to go in the A tier.
Okay, let me ask you why.
What? So, I have literally nothing against Mario Power Tennis. I think, and I know I'm going to sound very, very weird on this, but I kind of like Mario Golf more than Mario Tennis. I know, very unpopular opinion, because everyone's like, golf, the boring sport.
But here's the thing, though. As crazy as that may sound, I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. Because anybody that I have ever talked to about Mario Golf, and then I mentioned Mario Tennis, like, oh, Mario Tennis is okay. But then I mentioned Mario Golf, and everybody's like, oh, I fucking love Mario Golf.
Yeah.
They won't ever go play actual golf, and they won't go play like a Tiger Woods game, but they'll play the fuck out of a Mario Golf game.
I loved playing golf with Dad when I was a kid. I would honestly not mind going back out to like a driving range, but I think, so first of all, positives, Mario Tennis, Power Tennis, of course, great roster. Fantastic opening, literally worthy of like an Emmy, honestly. No, I don't think any Mario opening has topped Mario Power Tennis, main series or spinoff. I like all the trophy celebrations for characters, especially ones that have duos. They're very funny. That's the one where Luigi is currently the only character who has seen what a Shy Guy looks like without his mask.
This is true.
Yeah. Mario, do you think God stays in heaven because he, too, lives in fear of what he's created? Have you seen the bloopers for this game?
I have seen the bloopers for that game.
The bloopers for this game are so good!
They are very good.
God!
Don't expect mouth to mouth.
That's when Mario sports games started to fall down, because they didn't do the bloopers.
That's true. That's when they really started performing. Alright, what do we got next? Mario Tennis Power Tour.
On Game Boy.
Have you played this?
I have not.
Okay, before we continue on... Actually, you know what? I'll leave it for my tier list. Alright, continue yours.
Alright, sweet. So, Mario Golf, I will actually put... this is 64. Where do you think this one goes, Alex?
I would give it a B.
B?
I give it a B. Because if Toadstool Tour...
I would say B.
You are correct for me, at least.
I would say the only reason I give it a B is because Toadstool Tour really just, like you said earlier, took everything from golf and just amplified it by tenfold.
Let's see the next one.
Hey,
That's an F.
That's an S.
Stop the cat.
Is it?
Stop the cat.
No, it's an F. It's an F.
Anything on the Virtual Boy is an F.
I got to play it at Regen a couple years ago because Seth was just like, hey, do you want to try a Virtual Boy? And I'm like, shit, yeah. And I played it. I could barely see anything. Not even 5 minutes passed when I was playing tennis. I was like, okay, I have to tap out. This is messing with me.
I hear it's really fucking bad.
It's so weird because there's a lot of like technicalities on like what Mario Sports was the first, because they had ones on the NES Famicom technically. Right. But like if we're talking about something that was strictly branded as a Mario Tennis game or like a Mario Sports game, this is technically where it got its start. Fucking Virtual Boy. Okay.
Which like, right, what do we got next?
Mario Sports Superstars on 3DS.
Give it a D.
I've never played this, and I kind of refuse to because I know that I'll despise it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's one of those ones where it's like, it's one of the kind of sports mixes where it's a bunch of different things. Like they have horseback racing, baseball, soccer, I think tennis, golf kind of thing.
I think it has a bunch of crap.
But it was like, again, it kind of felt
it's like this. If Sports Mix got a sequel.
Yeah, and it was like at the absolute tail end of the 3DS's like relevancy. So it was just like they were kind of like, oh god,
no one really knew about it.
Yeah, oh god, what kind of Mario games can we put on here to wrangle every last dollar out of it?
Right. All right, next we have Super Mario Strikers. Evan, there's only one spot where that goes, and you know exactly where it is.
Straight up garbage.
Straight up fantastic.
Whoa, hold on. You put it in 18?
Honestly,
okay. I'm just making sure.
Honestly, after playing through Battle League a lot, like not a lot, but like playing through Battle League this week, I think that both Mario Strikers are S tier worthy.
Yeah, because let's be realistic here, Battle League did not live up to the hype because it was something
no.
made it really disappointing.
And I kind of refuse to play. I kind of refuse to wait for, like. I refuse to wait for the content updates, like, even if they do add Daisy back. Because I can't even say that they absolutely will. You never know with Mario Sports games anymore, man.
Buy it when it goes on sale.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I wish.
10% off, if that.
Yeah. Strikers Original Foundation is just very solid. This was the first Nintendo game that Next Level Games ever made.
It's also really gritty.
Yeah.
It's very, like, and that's just the original.
Yeah.
Stars is even more like,
right, it goes hard.
So cool.
Like, Battle League's cover art is good. I will give it that.
Itself is,
Poop.
Alright, what we got next? Last one, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
It looks poopy.
I'm gonna put that in the D tier.
It is actual F tier.
Are you serious?
It is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so imagine, if you will, Nintendo needs a holiday game for 2015 because Star Fox Zero got pushed back to April 2016. What do? You make a Mario Tennis game that has absolutely no charm, almost no game modes. The single new-ish mechanic is the Mega Mushroom from New Super Mario Bros. That lasts 10 seconds, and they throw it out like free candy. A very mediocre roster, shitty online where you can't play with friends. They reuse very old render art for the character select screen. Like, I think the one for Waluigi is all the way from, like, 2005, and this was 2015, right. Mind you.
So you knew they had newer ones.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, literally, nothing good about the game. Like, it looks pretty, and for the Wii U, that's it. This is what a lot of people point to as one of the most, like, unabashed, awful Nintendo games. Like, you ask people, like, some of the ones on this list are like, oh, you know, I don't agree with the spot, but, like, I understand where you're coming from. Everyone can agree that Tennis Ultra Smash and that era of Nintendo was just awful. Awful, awful. And it was $50 at launch. Not $60, mind you, but still, $50 for what is not even like a tech demo is awful.
Poopy.
That's fair.
Yeah. Mario and Sonic on the Olympic Games at DS. At the Olympic Games on DS. I don't remember it being that good. I kind of feel like they just wanted something out for the DS version on the Wii.
Yeah.
Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games, the original Wii one, I think it's a decent enough foundation. I think for kind of the first game in the series, it has a slightly weird character roster choice because Donkey Kong isn't in this one. Because I think the Mario characters were Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Wario, Waluigi, Bowser, and it's already great. But it feels like they didn't have to limit themselves to just 8 characters per series. They could have, like, I know that, like, they introduced other ones in Winter Games, but, like, they could have. It feels a little weird, even on the Sonic side, because Sonic's original characters were Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Silver, Vector, Eggman. Yeah, Vector's an interesting choice.
And Vector was an interesting choice, because at that point, you would feel like the match for Vector would have been Donkey Kong.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going about it from that perspective, anyways. But I guess you could also argue like Mario.
Next game. Okay, I actually have not played the DS version of
so
Winter
stuff
Games.
That we haven't played, we'll just put in trash.
Okay, like, I have no opinion. Like, the one thing that's not writing in this game that's not trash in this game is the writing in the story mode. My favorite line is when Mario and Toad are together, and then Wario and Waluigi appear, and then the text box for Toad says, "Nobody asked you to be here!" And then Peach asks Sonic, are you good with rifles by any chance? Just those out of context are so great. Like, the skeet, like the rifles, like that. So Peach is just like, are you really good with rifles, Sonic?
Jesus Christ.
I think, Mario and Sonic Winter Olympics is the best.
That's
among the best, yeah. Okay, the DS, 3DS one, I wasn't necessarily a fan of when the handhelds kind of like changed after the second one, because I was not a fan of the fact that for a lot of these you could only play events as certain characters. Like, they had like 5 or 6 people you could choose from, and you could only choose from that. So it's like anyone that like Luigi was inaccessible in, or they didn't give you to play as, you couldn't do that for London in 2012.
Right. Okay.
However, the Wii version is also, in my opinion, among the best.
I actually never played that.
I think that London just barely edges out Olympic Winter Games because I like its choice in music and the remixes they had. They had a fantastic remix of Crazy Gadget from Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have to like show you that one.
Shit, I'm trying to play that. What you mean?
Fuck yeah. Oh man. So, Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014, the Russian one, I would put that at, I'm not a fan of it.
Really?
I was not a fan of it, and I know that this was one of the ones that was like, it was the first one to not have like a DS, 3DS equivalent. And this was the one that was part of Nintendo and Sega's 3-game deal. They were like, we want 3 Sonic, like we could do 3 Sonic games that are exclusive to Nintendo platforms at the time. So that was Sonic Lost World, Mario and Sonic 2014, and then Sonic Boom. All of them were trash. And that's upsetting. And that's, I definitely think, is the weakest of the Mario and Sonics, at least so far. I have not played Rio 2016 on 3DS. I will not lie.
Okay.
I've barely played Rio 2016. I'm just gonna... from what I played, it was not that good, personally.
Okay.
And then the 2020 Olympics, the Mario and Sonic on Switch, I'd say it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So this is my list. We'll just, like, let it play for a second just so we can take a screenshot of it.